Have you ever noticed some of your dog's strange habits? They scratch the ground right after they go to the bathroom, sometimes run around the house as if they're on fire, or even chase their own tails, or stretch when they see you. It seems like they're doing something silly, doesn't it? But have you ever wondered why? Could it just be random actions? Or is there a scientific reason behind all of it? Today, we're going to explore 20 fascinating facts about dogs, all backed by real scientific research. Stick around until the end, because the final fact will completely change your perspective on your four-legged friend. You'll be surprised. One of the first behaviors we're going to explore is when dogs scratch the ground right after they go to the bathroom. If you think they're just doing it randomly, you're mistaken. Dogs don't do this just to form a habit. This action has a clear purpose: marking their territory. When they scratch the ground, dogs release pheromones, chemical signals that only other dogs can sense. It's like sending a message to other dogs that this is their territory. In fact, this action not only helps dogs maintain their territory, but also helps them relieve stress, as it gives them a sense of security, like they've successfully claimed a certain space. If you find these facts interesting and want to explore more fascinating details about dog behavior, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to always get the latest videos. And up next, we'll dive into a very unique behavior of dogs, when they chase their own tails. Have you ever seen your dog chase its own tail, running in circles as if it can't stop? This is truly an interesting behavior, especially when it happens in puppies. For them, chasing their tail is not just a game. It's a way of exploring their own body. The tail is an essential part of their body, and just like a child exploring their hands and feet, dogs learn to recognize this part of their body. However, if an adult dog frequently chases its tail, it could be a sign of stress or a lack of stimulation in their environment. A study from the University of Helsinki showed that dogs living in unstimulating environments are more likely to develop this behavior, indicating that dogs need enriching activities to maintain mental balance. You've probably also seen your dog suddenly run around the house as if they've swallowed an energy pill. This behavior, which veterinarians call frantic NSA attacks, may seem odd, but it's actually how dogs release excess energy. When dogs feel overly excited after a play session or when they've burned off some energy, they tend to run around wildly. Over 70% of dogs, especially puppies, display this behavior when they've released energy or are highly stimulated, much like we jump around after eating too many sweets. In fact, this action helps dogs release stress, maintain mental balance, and avoid feelings of restlessness. Another common behavior you may notice is your dog jumping up at you every time you come home. While it may sometimes be annoying, this is actually how dogs express love and joy when they see you. This behavior originates from their wild ancestors. Wolf pups, when meeting an adult in their pack, would lick their muzzle to ask for food and care. And our domestic dogs have kept this habit. When your dog jumps on you, they're not just expressing joy, they're also trying to get your attention, showing intimacy. However, if your dog jumps on you too frequently, it could be a sign that they need guidance on how to express affection more calmly. Have you ever noticed your dog lying on its back with its paws in the air? This is not just a normal sleeping position. It's actually a sign of absolute trust. In the wild, no animal exposes its belly unless it feels completely safe and not worried about the risk of being attacked. When your dog lies on its back like this, it's showing complete trust in you. Studies from the University of British Columbia show that dogs who sleep in this position tend to have a strong bond with their owners. This action not only shows comfort, but also indicates that your dog feels safe and loved while being with you. Now, Have you ever noticed your dog following you step by step? Do they always follow you around the house, even into the bathroom? You might think this is just a normal habit, but there is actually a deeper reason behind this behavior. Dogs, with their strong pack instincts, see you as the leader of their pack. That's why they always want to stay close to you, feeling the need to follow you everywhere. However, this behavior could also reflect another issue: separation anxiety. According to research from the University of Pennsylvania, about 14% of dogs may experience anxiety when left alone. If your dog follows you constantly, it could be a sign that they're feeling insecure and need your closeness. To help them feel safer and more independent, you could try giving your dog interactive toys or training them to feel comfortable when you're away. Another behavior you may not have noticed is your dog licking your feet. At first glance, this could seem like a simple way of showing affection, but did you know that this action carries a deeper message? Dogs have an extremely keen sense of smell and can detect pheromones and salts in our sweat. When a dog licks your feet, they're not just showing affection. They could also be analyzing your mood. The feet, in particular, have the most sweat glands, and dogs are drawn to the chemical signals you emit. Research from the University of São Paulo also suggests that dogs can detect changes in their owner's emotions just by smelling their body odors. So, if your dog frequently licks your feet, it may be their way of trying to understand your emotions at that moment. Surely, you've noticed that every behavior of your dog has a scientific reason behind it and is not random at all. Have you realized that they are trying to communicate with us in a very special way? These behaviors, though strange, demonstrate intelligence and a deep bond between dogs and their owners. Keep following along to explore more unusual behaviors and the fascinating reasons that explain them. You may have never noticed another very interesting behavior of dogs, which is when they roll on the grass or on dirty surfaces. When dogs roll like this, they're not just doing it for fun, but also to mark territory, or because they feel comfortable with the natural scents they detect on the surface. Rolling on these surfaces is part of their natural behavior that helps dogs feel comfortable and relaxed. In fact, dogs may roll in areas with strong scents to mask their own scent, as a way to hide themselves or to refresh their scent. This behavior reflects the hunting instincts and territorial protection that dogs inherit from their wild ancestors. Next, have you ever noticed your dog starting to play the wind or run around without a clear reason? This is a sign of excitement or excess energy. Dogs may start running wildly after a play session or when they feel overly excited about something. In fact, this action not only helps dogs release excess energy, but also serves as a way for them to relieve stress. Puppies, in particular, are easily stimulated and can display this behavior after releasing energy for a long period, just like humans bouncing around after eating too many sweets. This shows that dogs also need moments to de-stress and maintain mental balance. Have you ever noticed how your dog might show stress or discomfort by constantly licking its nose? Licking the nose is a behavior that many dogs will perform when they feel uncomfortable in a certain situation. It may be a way for dogs to self-soothe, or a sign that they are feeling anxious. In fact, nose licking can also be a sign that dogs are sensing stress in their surroundings, especially when they encounter unfamiliar things. This shows that dogs have the ability to regulate their emotions and exhibit sensitivity in recognizing their environment. Have you also noticed that your dog talks to you whenever they see something strange? Dogs can make sounds like barking, growling, or yapping when they detect something unusual or unfamiliar. This is a protective and warning behavior that they inherited from their wild ancestors. These behaviors not only help dogs protect their territory, but also allow them to show alertness to potential dangers. This behavior may arise when dogs sense a change in their environment, or when they feel a vague threat. If you notice this tendency in your dog, they may be trying to protect you or their territory from unfamiliar elements. Another behavior that many dog owners may not realize is their habit of licking their mouth. When dogs lick their mouths, it's not just a sign of affection, it's also a way for them to pay attention to your emotions and mood. Dogs may lick your mouth to show concern, or even to sense changes in your body through your scent. Mouth licking also helps dogs understand your emotions at that moment, and sometimes they may sense changes in your mood, especially when you feel stressed or anxious. Therefore, this behavior is not just simple affection, but also reflects a connection and empathy that dogs have towards their owners. Surely, you've witnessed your dog barking for no apparent reason, right? This behavior might leave you puzzled, but actually, dogs have the ability to hear sounds that we can't detect. With hearing capabilities up to 65,000 hertz, dogs can hear sounds that humans can't, such as distant thunder, rodents in the house, or even noise from electronic devices. When your dog barks for no obvious reason, they may be reacting to sounds that you can't hear. If the barking becomes too frequent, it may indicate that your dog is feeling anxious or seeking your attention. To minimize this, you can investigate the cause of the barking and adjust their environment. When you pet your dog, sometimes they have the habit of biting your hand. Although this might seem like playful behavior, it's actually how dogs show affection and enthusiasm. Especially with puppies, they tend to bite hands while learning how to control their bites and communicate with their litter mates. This is part of the socialization process, helping dogs learn how to interact and express affection gently. However, if your dog bites too hard, it could be a sign of lack of control. In this case, you can use chew toys instead of letting them bite your hand, helping them learn better behavior. Biting hands may be a sign of love and enthusiasm, but the behavior of licking your feet carries a deeper meaning. When dogs lick your feet, it's not just to show affection. They may also be trying to recognize and analyze your emotions. Dogs can sense pheromones and salts in your sweat. And through this, they can gauge your mood. If you're feeling stressed or anxious, your dog may notice this through their foot-licking behavior. This shows that dogs are not only companions, but also have the ability to sense and understand your mood, creating a very special emotional connection. What about the behavior of following their owner step by step? Have you ever noticed your dog following you everywhere, even into the bathroom? This behavior originates from dogs' pack instincts. Dogs view you as the leader of their pack, and that's why they always want to be close to you, feeling safe with you by their side. However, this behavior can also be a sign of separation anxiety. Dogs may feel anxious if they are left alone for too long. To help your dog feel safer and more independent, you could try giving them interactive toys or training them to feel more confident when you're away. Finally, when your dog stretches when they see you, it's not just an action to help them relax their body. It's also a sign of absolute trust and unconditional love. Have you ever seen your dog stretch their body, completely relaxed when you come home? That's the clearest sign that your dog feels safe and loves you dearly. Dog stretching is their way of releasing tension after waking up or resting, and it also helps improve blood circulation. According to scientific studies, stretching not only helps relax their muscles, but also makes dogs feel free and comfortable. A study from the University of British Columbia shows that dogs demonstrate strong attachment and trust towards their owners when they stretch and engage in such intimate contact. When your dog stretches when they see you, it's their way of saying, "I trust you. I feel safe with you here." You can easily notice that this shows not only comfort, but also the strong relationship you've built with your dog. Dogs only do this when they feel loved and not worried. These seemingly simple actions carry deep emotions and meanings. When you realize that every behavior of your dog carries a special message, You will love and understand your four-legged friend even more. Actions like stretching, scratching the ground, or jumping up when they see you are not just random habits. They are how dogs communicate and express deep affection for you. They are telling you, I love you and I trust you. So, what are you waiting for? Pay closer attention and connect with your dog on a deeper level to understand and love them in a completely new way. If you notice these behaviors in your dog, don't forget to share your feelings and stories in the comments below the video. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss out on more interesting videos as we explore more secrets about the dog world in upcoming episodes.